Hey everyone, this is Christina D, aka Short on the Easel, with the final video in the Ojofo marker review slash first impressions, and this is not a complete color-in, but wanted to do something fun for Easter. And I'm just gonna say right now, these markers, great price, great variety for the price, but my only real gripe is the fact that you have to break in the brush tip. Because I know I mentioned it in one of the previous videos, but the brush tip is super stiff. Some of them were a little softer initially, but a lot of them, the tips are super stiff. You really need to break them in. I've never had a brush tip marker that you need to break in, but they break in very slowly, and they often start with the tip bending. So far, none of them have frayed, so I think it is mostly they just need to be broken in. But so far, they do bend at the tip, like the very tip, so it creates almost like a little wispy tip that's really annoying and really makes getting specific or just like little details colored in difficult, because more often than not, it makes it so hard to control the colors and putting lines down, and yeah, that's not fun. You don't want that with the marker. Now again, these do have a lot of variety. This is, what was that, like 30 markers? 30 markers for just about, I think it was, what, 31 bucks? That was with tax. Like, these things are listed as just under 30 bucks on Amazon. Like, that's a lot for that much. Like, that's definitely worth it for a beginner set. And I'm gonna be honest, it really is a decent set. It's just, I don't know how many people are gonna be all for the stiff tips. And I know that the little wispy tips you get when they start bending, a lot of people aren't going to be a fan of that. So this is sort of a check it out if you want. I sort of recommend these. They do blend pretty darn well, but while there are a lot of midtones for other colors, like that tealy shade in the pants, you know, I had to try and rely on layering, which still didn't really turn out well because there was no real mid-tone for that lighter shade and the darkest, well, that's not even the darkest shade, that was the closest thing to a mid-tone I could find. But yeah, these I was just checking out if you want to try getting into alcohol markers, but remember, the brush tips on these are very, very, very stiff. Very stiff? They're stiff. They're not as pliable in a sense as like Copic markers or Prismacolors. So it's going to be very, very difficult to work around if you're not used to it. And even if you are used to other brush tip markers, it's going to take some getting used to in general. Also, aside from the little pictures on the markers, there's no other indicator on which side's chisel and which side's brush tip. So I found myself accidentally picking the wrong side a lot. Now here's something I wanted to do initially anyway, and let's try to recreate some swatches from the Amazon listing, because they seemed a little too clean, and one of them seemed a little too impossible for an alcohol-based marker. So remember how I said you can get some really thin lines initially? Yeah, no. With these swatch tests, there is no line control at all. They bleed a lot. That might have just been the paper, but they do bleed a lot. There's a lot of splotchiness, and it's not just my shaky hand. But it is impossible to perfectly and cleanly mimic those swatches. And actually, gonna cut to me testing out another paper. Let's try this one. Okay. This is mixed media. So let's see if maybe this can get a better line. So let's try this again. So then, let's try to recreate these. A smooth line that tapers into the... Nope. Still can't get that to be like one smooth little curve. Okay, we're gonna do this exactly how it's laid out, so that's smooth, smooth. And then try to get as wide of it. It's sorta close. Still not exact. And already flubbing this one up. Smooth. Sorta going. Yeah, no, there's still a little bleeding in there, and there's no way to get lines that thin. Holy shit. Excuse the language. Okay, let's see if maybe the chisel tip will be better. So it looks like we got a little bit of a squiggly here. I don't know how they got such... Yeah, immediately when it hits the paper, it bleeds. It's like, even on thicker mixed media paper, it's immediately bleeding. And then I guess this would be this way? How does that look like a half? Maybe this way? No, that still doesn't look the same. How does that look like half the size but not half the size? It's like, looks slightly thinner. And then this one, obviously. None of them have like an exact like flat top. Because there's no way to get that without some sort of stencil or... Yeah, that is like, seriously, hang on. Let's see if I can get this over here. That is what I'm trying to recreate. That has to be either digitally done or with a stencil. There is no way that was done with these markers. Like, even if you have a steadier hand, there's no way that these markers. And then the other one I want to try... over here again for a quick second. That gradient. That looks way too... Almost looks like a chameleon marker kind of blend. Because you still see some of that blue up into here. I don't... Is anything in the colors? It's probably... The other one I could tell because it had the cabin picture. It's probably the closest one I can think of is pale blue, which has that sort of purple tone. Closest would be sky blue. Alright. Let's try this. Pale blue and sky blue. Start at the bottom with the sky blue. And this looks like it was... Was that done with it? No. I was gonna say it looks like it might have been done with the chisel tip, but let's try to do it again. Oh wow. Oh, this needs to be like worn in a sec. Hang on. Nope. It smells super stiff. It even has like a weird point to it. Like, this is not the normal shape of a brush tip marker. And then... can you even actually get a decent blend from these two? Oh, actually you can. I take it back. You can get a nice blend from these two. But it's not gonna look like that. That swatch definitely has more of a chameleon marker kind of vibe to it. It's like, unless you really carry this up into the purple. So I'm an idiot, and I thought I was recording the first half of this next bit, and I didn't. So, what you missed was me opening to a new page in the sketchbook and laying down these two colors to try it. A method I remembered last second while editing this to attempt to recreate that gradient. So, let's get right to actually attempting to recreate the gradient. Is this gonna work? Oh! That kinda worked! It kinda worked! Hang on. I'm gonna need to do that a little longer. I got this. Kinda worked. But, yeah, no, even then, it still loses the color, like, really quickly. How long that one holds it? You know, that one doesn't hold it. It's gotta be the purple. But even then, it still doesn't hold it long enough to carry the color up with it. Yeah. I don't think. I don't think that was done with these markers. Because, I mean, you can sorta, kinda see a similar effect. But it's still not exactly the same as in that swatch. Like, you can sorta see, like, around here. But in that swatch, on the listing, it carries it all the way up. And also, that's the most time-consuming method. Because then you gotta pause. You gotta wait for it to finish up. And she's like, no. So I think it's safe to assume that they either held these markers together for the longest time, or that blend swatch was not done with these markers. So yeah, all in all, these bad boys, if you want to check them out. It's Ojofo. I know this threw me off initially because I'm an idiot and I didn't look at the seller name and I was calling it a Joro for the first two videos. It's Ojofo, even though if you were like me and you just saw that, what do you think that's an R or an F? It's like, I can't be alone on that, but the 48 colors, including an added highlighter, as it says, but it's a white gel pen. For the amount you get, I say it's worth a shot, especially as a starter set. Because, I mean, you get plenty of variety. You got plenty of colors to work with. Enough mid-tones to get you used to blending. But aside from the really, really stiff pen tips, the only other issue I could see being a big one is the fact that there's no real... Yeah, I'm looking at it now just to be like, is there anything? Maybe this is slightly more indented, but it's not that noticeable. Yeah, there really isn't much. Yeah, no, this is slightly more indented than this side, and it's barely noticeable. So aside from these two little silver designs right here, to point out the brush and the chisel tip, or as it says, the broad tip. The brush tip is sort of indented more, which is very barely noticeable at all. So, yeah, I say get them if you want to give them a shot. It's 48 colors, brush tip set, which is not an easy thing to find for under 30-something bucks, because, like I said, with tax, mine came out to like 31 bucks. So 48 colors for that price, that's really good, especially with brush tips, because those are usually super expensive. But like I said earlier in the video, just be warned that these do have very stiff tips. And that beautiful, beautiful thin line I was talking about in the swatching video, you know, once those tips start bending the more you work with them, until the whole brush like really starts becoming more pliable as you work with it, it's gonna stay bent and keep bending as you work with it. And it's not fun. And it makes it very difficult. It makes it very difficult to control. Because I can't speak. But yeah, I hope you guys liked these videos. I hope you liked the setup of the videos. Trying something different, trying something new. And like I said, these are like my last real splurge that I had a chance to do before everything went down. So don't expect too many more product reviews, aside from maybe some Posca pens that I got beforehand too, but yeah. For now, this is what I got, unless I get sponsored, which I highly doubt because I'm a smaller artist. But yeah, if you guys like this, I want to see more videos sort of like this, where it's more spread out. Comment below, tell me what you guys want to see me do. If there's anything you want to see me try, any drawing challenges or something, again, comment below, tell me what you want to see, and I will see you guys in the next video. So, yeah, I hope this was as honest of a review as possible, because, I mean, they're not bad, but they're definitely not the best. But at least, if anything, unlike Artist Loft and Chroma, they didn't fray. Although, to be honest, I think I would have happily preferred they frayed. Can't believe I'm saying that, but yeah, no, the bent tip for the brush tip, not fun. So I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.